Okay, hey you guys. So I am back, and like I said, I was gonna do a comparison between my Ancestry DNA results and GEDmatch. I just uploaded a video where I kind of talked about DNA, and I mentioned some things about my GEDmatch and ancestry differences. Although there are great similarities, there were really some big differences. So basically, I just kind of want to go over those differences again. So we are looking at my ancestry DNA results. So I have, as you all can see, a lot of different ethnicities. My biggest one, 84% European, which to see it in those numbers is crazy. I was pretty much expecting European, duh, but 84% just to hear it that way is shocking. Okay, but back to the point of this video. Okay, so let's just go ahead and look at Africa. Now, my father is Puerto Rican, so there is no surprise that there's a trace region of Africa there. Puerto Ricans are mixed people with some African heritage also. So I just want to show you this whole range thing. So basically, they gave me less than 1% of Senegal, Africa. So, but it ranges from 0 to 2%. Okay. Now, when I read what that means, it goes up to 2%, but what they are safely going to put me at or guesstimate or predict based on their scientific study is less than 1%, but they see up to 2%. Okay? So obviously, my mom is Native American, so that's no shocker that I have Native American 9%, which is kind of low because my mom is like half Native. But again, like I've said before, on my mother's side, my grandmother, there may be Irish or German in my native line, okay? So that may account for the 9%. But the range is 7 to 11. All right, Asia, Asia Central. So Asia Central is the stands. Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, touches Iran, Kazakhstan, okay? Um, Azerbaijan, Georgia is kind of included there also. Okay, Asia East, 0 to 2%, but they put me at less than 1. So what I'm focusing on now is the range, and I kind of should probably hurry up because I'm using my phone, and for some reason it doesn't allow me to go beyond 15 minutes or so. So, okay, this was my biggest shocker, Scandinavia, 28%. Now, I later learned that Ancestry DNA has this thing called Scandinavian problem where it overpredicts people's Scandinavian heritage. Now, as you guys can see from this whole test is I'm very mixed. I have a little bit of everything. As a Puerto Rican, as 50% Puerto Rican, I would surely have thought to seen more Spanish, more Iberian Peninsula. Ancestry put me at 2%, okay? But the range is 0 to 7, all right? Um, they even put me some European Jewish, less than 1%, but my range is 0 to 3. Before I move to GEDmatch, let me just show you they have found a trace region of Melanesian, less than 1%. The range is 0 to 1%. Now, West Asia, which also includes, West Asia is not just comprised of the Caucasus. West Asia also includes Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, um, Bahrain, those places, those are all included in West Asia, okay? So, but the actual region that they calculate me to be is Caucasus, okay? Those are in places like Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Okay? Includes, for some reason, weird, Bulgaria, Jordan, Greece, Italy. Okay, it doesn't include, but they find Caucasus heritage in those other places. That's how I interpret that. Um, okay. So you see, they give me a range here. They put me at 2%, but they give me a range 0 to 6, meaning that while running my test, it went all the way up to 6, but they're safely going to say for sure 2%. Now, let me just show you this. Okay? Middle East. Other regions tested. Middle East, 0%. Range, 0 to 1%. So that tells me that they're giving me a range is that they did find some very small, but they don't include it. Maybe it's just too small for them to confirm or deny. Okay? And the same type of deal happened up here with different places in Africa. Okay? For Mali, I get some weird 0 to less than 1% range. For Benin, Togo, it's 0 to 0, and I tested 0. Okay? And the range is 0 to 0. Let's look at Southeastern Africa. Okay? There we go. 0%, but look at the range. It's very strange. Now that pretty much is that for that. So I'm pointing these out for a very specific reason. Now let's come on over here to GEDmatch. And if you're not familiar with GEDmatch, let me tell you, this place is totally amazing, but really confusing when you first start. So I'm going to go with the MDLP project. Okay, that's just me as a new person here for the first time. You just want to come over here, enter your kit number, and then I'm going to choose MDLP World 22. Okay, this is testing 22 regions, ethnicities in the world, 22 regions, ethnic groups, whatever you want to call it, in the world. So I'm going to run that test. It's going to take a minute or a few seconds. See, it's doing its thing. Come on. Okay. So, pygmy, 0.20%. That's African pygmy, okay? West Asian, 8.72. Now, the Caucasus are included in West Asia. It gave me 8.72. While Ancestry gave me 2%, but it ranged from 0 to 6% for the Caucasus. North European Mesolithic, 494. Mesoamerican, 1.97. The Mesoamerican are the native tribes that are in Central America, places like Guatemala. And as a Puerto Rican, Puerto Rico's in the Caribbean. It's near the border of South America and Central America. Central America, places like I said, Nicaragua, Guatemala, those places, they touch the Atlantic Ocean. Puerto Rico is on the Atlantic Ocean. So is this Mesoamerican coming through from maybe my father? Like, you know what I mean? Did he get some of that native Puerto Rican blood? Also, look, Arctic American Indian, 0.50. South American Indian, 1.70. Indian, like from India, 0.49. Now, some of these small ones, they could be what they call noise. But I'm pointing out on Ancestry.com, I had other regions, Asia South, which means India, at 0%, but it gave me that range, 0 to 1%. And what GEDmatch is saying here is like 0.49%. So interesting to me. Atlantic Mediterranean Neolithic, 30.28. Okay. So this is telling me probably like Iberian Peninsula, Italy, and Ireland, and the United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales, and England, they are all located on the Atlantic Ocean, the North Atlantic Ocean. The Mediterranean is also a sea that is from the Atlantic Ocean, is my point. And Italy and Spain and France are Mediterranean countries. So, interesting. Again, Indo-Iranian, 0.37. East Siberian, 1.01. Now, these Siberian, I'm sure, are coming through my Native American blood. So that's where I think that's coming from. Now, Northeast European, 36.54. Now, what is this to me? To me, I'm guessing Northeast European. I mean, is that like Scandinavia, that kind of thing, plus Russia, plus Lithuania, Latvia, those kind of countries. I mean, I'm confused. North American Indian, 6.17. Sub-Saharan African, 1.68. Again, Ancestry gave me a range from 0 to 2%, but it told me I was less than 1%. Senegalese. East South Asian, very small, 0.19, could be nothing, but it could also be coming in with my Native American. Now, Near East is the exact same thing as the Middle East. They are the same. The Near East is the Middle East. The Far East is places like China, Japan. It has me at 4.45%. Okay? While Ancestry said I had 0%, but they gave me a range of 0 to 1%. GEDmatch gives me 4.45%. Ancestry gave me Melanesian, and on this MDLP World 22 population test, it doesn't give me Melanesian, but it gives me Austronesian, less than 1% at 0.72, which is the same pretty much as Melanesian. I mean, they come from the same area, the same islands, okay? It's like different tribes is my guess. So what these oracle button means is like it's gonna guesstimate with all your different ethnic groups what your race is, like what you are, or where you come from, whatever. So using one population, so if you're just completely one thing, all of your parents and grandparents are from the same country, they would put me at Montenegrin, okay? That's in Eastern Europe. Or Macedonian, Serbian, Romanian, Bulgarian, German, Italian. This ethnicity here is, I believe, from like Western Asia. So, but actually look at when it guesses two using two populations, it actually gets one completely right. I am 50% Puerto Rican. My father is 100% Puerto Rican. So it's telling me, according to the ethnicities it finds me having, it's going to put me at half German and half Puerto Rican, which that's half right. And I may have German. They're only telling me Western European, which includes Germany. So if they guess with three populations, Central Europe, 25% Southern Greek, 25% Simian. Simian are a Native American people group. So that would be like 4 guesses. So, and this would be, I'm not sure. Anyone who understands this distance, what this at, and then this distance, 3.73, Can somebody explain that to me in the comments below? That would be really helpful. Um, so just look at some of these. I mean, some say maybe German, Italian, Swedish, and Simian. Another one is Central European, Romanian Jew, Swedish, and Simian. So this is just one of the tests, you guys, just one of the tests. And as far as I'm understanding this, like if you run, like they have tests for like Asians. So if I want to get a better understanding of my West Asian heritage, if I use the test for the Asian, um, I think it helps you pinpoint and break down where your West Asian ethnicities are coming from. That's kind of my understanding. Please, you guys out there who are familiar with GEDmatch, help me a little bit to understand that. If I'm wrong, I am so open to learning this. So, like I said, my phone will only allow me to record for a short amount of time before it cuts off. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video, but I'm about to make another one because there's a couple other tests I want to share with you guys on GEDmatch. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.